Right, so welcome to the first episode of Experience is Key. This podcast is all about basically a student or an amateur in their field having time with a professional in their field that they're looking to go into after college. So we're in Fife College right now. We have a student, Lee Robertson, and he's going to pick the brains of a world-class pool player, Euan Waddell. So yeah, welcome to the podcast, lads.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Right, so Lee, do you want to open up?
Certainly. So, Euan, so as
pal.
Bill said, my name's Lee. Currently studying in Fife College, HNC football coaching. As part of our learning, we often discuss the term sports psychology. In that, we look at the main components of this and the impact it has on any given sport, in this case pool. The main components are defined as anxiety, concentration, confidence, motivation and team cohesion. I've put together a few short questions for yourself in relation to these and how they've affected your success as a pool player. All right. And you've not seen these. So,
No,
okay. So firstly, in the build-up to your initial trials for the Scotland team, how would you describe your anxiety levels? And when we discuss anxiety, we refer to cognitive, what you're thinking, and somatic, and what you're feeling. So, like say, clamming up, sweating. What did you think and feel, and how did you manage this?
I think leading up to the trial, I never bothered about anything like that. I had nothing to prove.
Right.
It wasn't like I was a favourite or anything like that. So I just kind of went in, let my arms go, and it kind of come together basically. So I didn't have anything to prove. The anxiety and everything like that kicked in afterwards.
Perfect.
So
Fantastic. What would your main bit of advice be? So you're obviously pretty chilled out when it came to that. What would your advice to be to anyone in a high pressure sports environment?
if you're doing it all the time and you know you can do it, then you just need to remember that you've done it in the past. So there's nothing to worry about. You know, it's what you do. Like I play probably 3-4 hours a day.
Right.
So I'm doing it all the time. You need to remember that. It's trying to remember that though. That's the hard part.
Okay. When it comes to any sort of pre-match routine, trials, tournaments, is there a set routine that you've got in preparation for that? Anything you do differently? I know you said you play 3-4 hours a day, but is there anything that differs in the build-up to a big occasion?
No, I don't have like a pre-match routine or anything like that. Obviously, like you plan it out and you know what you want to do. Never always works out that way though. So I don't have a pre-match routine. I like to relax, mainly.
Is there anything you do to relax?
I just listen to music.
Listen to music.
That's the only thing I do. I don't. There's no point in doing like exercise or going for a run or anything else, or even practicing before that. I don't even practice before a match.
What's your genre of choice?
I could range from anything. That can go from Metallica all the way down to classical music, depends on how I'm actually feeling.
Mellow you out. So I can imagine. So football predominantly is my sport. I wouldn't attempt my hand at pool, but I can imagine that pool is a sport that requires high concentration levels. Is there anything that you do to improve this, maintain this, and work upon that?
I've worked a little bit like eating right and things like that. When I first started playing in tournaments, your first couple of rounds would be a breeze, and then after that you'd fade away, and then you get beaten. You wonder why you got beat. And the more I looked into it, the more I was like eating right, things like that, just to keep your mental energy up, basically. But yeah, that's
perfect. So the results in both the semi-final and final in Malta were very close. Bill had sent me over sort of the initial article, sort of just summarising your successes and the results in both those matches. Coming from behind in the semis and in the majority of the final match was being tied. Does that affect your focus that you've got during the match? Are you thinking about a win or a lose, or are you just, like you said, doing what you do?
Just exactly doing what you do. I know that I've got 5 guys at the back of me that are tremendous players, so I wasn't worried about that. My first game in the A team was I was a bit of a nerve wracking, the nerve showing, and I didn't want to go for this, I didn't want to go for that. And then one of the boys in the team, was a phenomenal player, he was like, just go for it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You lose the frame. At least you went for it.
Yeah.
Better have that than try to like tie it up and then losing the frame that way, and you'd be angry with yourself. So once I was able to settle into it, you didn't worry about that. Like, these boys will be able to pick up the slack if one else isn't
It's quite
performing.
quite a good team around you then.
Yeah.
So what motivated you to begin playing and continue playing pool? First started, what motivated you to get into the sport?
I don't know what motivated me to get into the sport when I started drinking. When I was younger, started drinking. That's when you go in the pubs, and then like on a Wednesday night, and you see like a team come in, the atmosphere and everything, and it could properly get a hold of you. And then I went from playing like pub pool to counties, and then that was just electric. And then I got my first call up to Scotland when I got to finally a ranking event.
Right.
So that I went to Malta the first time. It was phenomenal. And then it just everything. As the journey goes on, you get a bigger and bigger buzz for it, that's all. And then you've got people shouting, and it has a good atmosphere to be in.
So I think it's, from what I can gather, it's certainly a social aspect, and that initial involvement, like you say, a pub environment, getting to know people, meet people through the sport as well. Perfect. Getting selected for the Scotland team initially, and on this occasion, obviously, and then going on to win. How's this affected your confidence levels as a pool player? Do you think has it changed anything you would do, the way that you are?
It has changed a little bit. Like, I kind of feel like there's a target on your back now,
Right.
and everybody will have opinions and all. Like, that team wasn't probably as strong, and that to be fair, our team wasn't the strongest Scotland team that Scotland has ever produced.
Right.
But they've never won the world. We did, so but it puts a target on your back. Confidence wise, it's still believing that you can do it. It still hasn't 100% settled in, even though it was kind of a couple of months ago. But you can ways around it. But like when you walk into a venue and that, and people are like, "Oh, you know that they've talked about you and things like that." It does give you like a massive ego boost, but you've got to try and back that up at the same time as well. So
that target on your back, so
Aye.
the expectations growing for you,
and that puts an added pressure. So
perfect. So playing as part of a team, obviously I would associate pool as being a solo sport. I'm aware there's doubles as well. Playing as part of a team and playing solo are quite different. How did the team improve on team cohesion, assuming that the team weren't familiarised with one another? Because there was trials and a build up to that, so the team was formed out of successful trialists, I imagine.
Previously, that team was changed. There was a team before that, and I think there's only 3 or 4 of them that were actually from originally that team. But like, we're all scattered over Scotland, so it's not like we hang about it or anything like that.
Okay.
Once you always have a bit of banter leading up to it and things like that, group chats, things like that. But you've not spent a day with them.
No.
The first time me spending a day with my whole team was when we landed in Malta.
Right.
So it was kind of nerve-wracking then. But see, by the time you left, you were like brothers, you were like a family. You've done something like that. So
kind of where we're going with that, and again, apologies for referring back to football, but these guys, they train day in, day out amongst one another, and you're joining a team that people aren't familiarised. Is there anything you've done whilst you were in Malta? You just said when you left there, it was like brothers. What other than the pool was there social side of it?
Everything.
You're eating together.
You're eating together, restaurants. You're drinking together. Everything you're doing is together. So there was barely a time when you weren't with the boys. So it does become like a type 1 sort of thing.
Yeah, great. How do you think the team cohesion altered before, during and after winning the tournament? So obviously the team morale and team cohesion as a whole, team coming together is one thing. And you said afterwards it was there, but is that team going to remain together? Do you still stay in touch? Yeah.
We've actually got an exhibition coming up, so that's going to be fun. And I can relax a bit more into that because I was the new kind of player to that team. I wanted to make sure that I kind of cemented my spot in that team because I want to obviously go and do the next one and then the next one. But yeah, no, we'll all still all chat almost every day. So that's
great to hear. That's all the questions I've got for you. Thanks for your time. And I was reading from the article Bill had sent, and you've got the upcoming Super 11s event with East of Fife A team. So just wanted to wish you the very best for that going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time.
Not a problem.
Right, cheers, lads. That was brilliant. So I'm going to talk about a couple of quick fire questions for a couple of the fans that we've got for pool.
It's got to be funny.
Aye. So first couple of easy ones. First of all, what cue do you currently use, and what size of tip?
Currently, he's a John Paris. It's an 8.35 tip, but that will be going up for sale.
Is it?
Yeah, I've got a new one coming.
Right. Okay. Right, a wee bit of excitement there. So next question is, who's your favourite player?
And pool,
Yep.
Scott Gillespie,
Yeah.
100%.
And he's a teammate.
He is a teammate, but I actually got to see him firsthand and watch what he can do. Frightening. He was also my doubles partner, which I've never had anybody shout at me in a game of doubles, but he did.
Right.
But he is a phenomenal player.
Did he push you to the max?
Pretty much, aye.
Right. Right. Oh, I'll come to that in a wee while. What aspects of your game do you feel are your strongest?
Long potting.
Right.
People will just leave you on the cush saying, sorry, you'll miss that. Nope. Nah, I'll pot that all day long.
Yep.
Pot for the lampshades. No.
Put for the car park.
There's the confidence there.
That's it.
What's your most memorable match?
Memorable match. My end final against Morgan McInnes was good because I didn't expect to have a run like that and end up getting to the final. I thought, all right, okay, just didn't embarrass yourself, end up 2 frames, which I think he dished and then dished again, so there was 2 frames that I never really got a visit, and I had lost 10-8, but I was like, no, I'll remember that one, like that'll stay with me for a while.
That's brilliant. Where was that?
That was in Dundee. McGarty's in Dundee.
Dundee. Right. Right. Next question is your hardest opponent you've ever faced.
It's got to be Liam Dunster.
He's just a machine, isn't he?
Different on and off the table. He's like granite. Doesn't show emotion. Again, even if you get a fluke, nothing. You know you're not beating him.
Mm-hmm. He's tough. He's Liam Dunster's a multiple world champion.
He was number 1 for 7-8 years or something like that. Again, stupid time and world champions. Again, he's done everything in pool, but he's just nothing there. Soulless.
He's also from Fife as well. Some of the calibre of players in Fife is ridiculous when you look at it. Next one is favourite shot to execute. Would that be a long shot as well? Skill shots are all good.
Got to be a skill shot.
It is, isn't it? It's so satisfying.
Aye. Especially when someone leaves you, I think, they'll not get that.
Yeah.
Want a bet? I'll get it.
That's the confidence you need, though. You know what I mean? You need that confidence to go, you know what? Leave me it. I dare you to leave me it.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
You have to back yourself to do everything you want to do. So.
Definitely. You've got to go for it, eh? Best advice you've ever received in pool, obviously.
The emotion side of things. If you get beat by someone that's like a hard loss, let's just say a hard loss to take, then show it there. Walk out the building, then you could if you want to scream, if you want to greet, but then ever show it when you're. And it's no advice sometimes I stick to, but aye, that's probably the best advice.
How would you bounce back? Let's say on the back of a defeat, how would you bounce back?
I've had a few sore ones, and then it's like that day sometimes you walk out and you're like on the car ride home, you're raging about it. And you calm down, and then the next day it's like, nah, I'm going to put him here. Again, to me, that's like another hour onto my practice time sort of thing. So that's how I deal with that sort of thing.
This is a question for me. Do you always practice on your weaknesses?
I did used to practice on my weaknesses a lot. A lot of them was shots down the rail. Things like that. I've had thousands of shots down the rail now, but now it's just another shot.
Yeah,
Once you get used to it, you find it's no longer a weakness.
Oh, that was the next question. What's the most difficult shot in pool for you? Would it be down the rail?
It's probably the break. Down the rail, yeah.
Right.
100%.
Have you developed a wee bit of side to put on it to hug the cush?
Run inside, Jamie Simpson told me about that. Put run inside on it. Always, by the time the object ball gets to the pocket, it'll spin off the back knuckle and in. Made life so much easier.
Cool. So the last one for the quick fire is if you could steal 3 skills of the game from any players, What would they be? So the first one is breaking.
Break-in's got to be Tom Cousins. Tom Cousins break. Pattern play would be Alan Reynolds.
So that's the next one, pattern play, and then the last one's potting.
Probably Mark Boyle for potting.
Yep. So Alan Renzi for pattern play.
Pattern play. He sees the game so much.
His knowledge is through the roof, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. He's been there and done it and everything. So, aye,
He was basically Dunster's coach, didn't he?
yeah, I went
Built
there
him
for a
up.
couple of sessions, and when I say I'm struggling to see how to go about finishes and that, and he's like that. You sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that? And then eventually it just clicks sort of thing. So,
Right.
definitely for that, Renzi.
Well, cool, lads. Thanks very much for that. That ends the podcast. Much appreciated to Euan and Lee for spending some time with me. Thanks very much, lads. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.